So you want to lose body fat, but you haven't got time to be spending forever in the gym. That is like most of us out there. So in this video, I'm going to break down 3 of the cardio exercises I would completely avoid simply because it takes too long to burn a decent enough calories, especially if you are on a time crunch, you ain't got time to be spending forever in the gym. So numero uno is the treadmill, but when it's flat. On an incline, it's a total different story. It's much better for your knees on an incline and you burn more calories during the same period. But if you're on a treadmill and you want to burn calories in the most optimal way possible, you want to try and raise up the incline and walking at a pace that you probably wouldn't be able to hold a casual conversation with someone while you was walking. The only reason I'd really say stick with the flat incline is if you're someone that may not be as able-bodied, so whether you're like super obese or you're really old and you can't really raise on the incline, then fair enough. But if you're someone that is able-bodied fully, you should be whacking the incline as high as you can and do not hold the sides. The more you hold the sides, the more calories you are not burning. If it's too hard for you and you have to hold the sides, I would reduce the speed or the incline and keep trying and erroring until you find that perfect balance where it's high enough and the speed is enough where it's challenging and you can do at least 20 minutes. Then over time, like with every other exercise in this list, you slowly, as you get more efficient and better at it, you bump up your calorie goal to like 50 calories or 100 calories more than what you started at. Number 2 is the battle ropes. It's an exercise that looks super cool and you look like a flipping beast when you do it. I love doing battle ropes here and there because it does look pretty cool. However, when I do it, it's almost just for fun. If you're doing it with the sole purpose of fat loss, it's just not a good one to go for, simply because most people, and I mean most people, even ones that even go to the gym, cannot consistently do the battle ropes long enough to burn enough calories in your nice squat position for longer than 30 seconds in a row, let alone doing it for like a long period of time, because it is quite challenging. The ropes are heavy, the movement's quite hard, you have to brace your core, your arms really get tired. There's one thing about feeling like you had a hard workout, because battle ropes will do that within like 3 minutes of using it, but sweat doesn't equivalent to just loads of calories being burnt. At the end of the day, most are not good enough at that exercise to actually burn enough calories to really see a difference in their fat loss journey. Another similar but better alternative would be, if your gym has it, is the ski machine. My gym has it and I've tried it out. It's kind of similar in terms of like you're moving your arms a lot. However, one, there's like a dial on it, which means you can turn down the resistance so it's a little bit more easier to do and you can do it for a little bit longer. But you still run into that aspect that after about normally a minute or so, even on the lower level, your arms and back kind of start to give out. However, at least with that machine, yeah, it has a dial so it's easier to track the calories being burnt. And if you're wondering whether tracking your calories on machines are accurate, they're never ever going to be 100% accurate because, for example, just take a Stairmaster. The calories are calculating just on is an average guess, and it's also factoring if you're not holding the sides. If you hold the sides, whatever the calorie number says on the screen, you definitely didn't burn that. But the easiest way to think about it, so you're not overcomplicating it, is if you use the same machine, ideally each session, it's easier to compare because you're using the same one. But if you hop between different brands or different gyms, then they all track the calories slightly different. But if you stick to the same brand and the same machine, then that's probably the closest you're going to get to really being able to track it accurately. I always recommend to every client I've ever had, go by calories, not the minutes, simply because 20 minutes is not always 20 minutes, and you know it. There's some times when you go on a treadmill and you do 20 minutes and you burn 150 calories on the treadmill. Another day where you just feel really tired or you don't feel like doing it. You may do 20 minutes and only burn 100 calories because the pace was so slow, the incline wasn't high enough. So I always say go by the calories because then you can't really cheat yourself. Because whether that 200 calories takes you 20 minutes or it takes you 30 minutes, at least you've completed the set number you was actually going for. So this is why metrics matter. It can really help you on your fat loss journey or even in your fitness journey in general. If you don't want to track the calories because you don't want to think about the fat you're losing, track the distance you managed to go in a certain time period. So how far can you go in the 10 or 15 minutes you typically do it and see if the times are improving. That's another great method as well. Number 3 now is an OG, and it's similar reason to the battle ropes, and it is skipping. Most people cannot do 5 minutes consistently of skipping. They really can't. Unless like you're someone that does boxing or very athletic. Most people, when they do skipping, they do maybe a minute, then they'll take a little break and do another minute. And then after about the second or third time, when they get down to like 3-4 minutes, they're gonna start messing up and consistently hitting their legs, but their time is still running. So you haven't really done a full 5 minutes. You're doing like every other skip when you're stopping to restart and you're having to do it over and over again, and you're just not burning as much calories because you can't fluidly keep doing the skips. So the problem here really isn't technically that skipping is not great for fat loss. It's more the fact that unless you've managed to build up your fitness level to a point where you're really good at it, you're just not going to burn enough calories because you're going to keep failing. So if you're thinking, oh, but how else am I going to get good at skipping? I have to practice. Of course, yeah, you can. If you really want to do skipping, then definitely do it in practice and get better and better and better. But during that period, I would still do some other cardio where you're actually tracking it properly, so you can actually still see progress as you're getting better at doing the skipping. So these exercises here, I'm not saying that they're terrible. I'm just saying, based on your main goal is fat loss, these probably won't be the most efficient for you to be burning calories in a short time period. So for those of you watching that want to know some great exercises to do for cardio, or in general just want to learn more about calorie deficit, be sure to check out this video here where I go over it in more depth.